Hi guys, it's Crystal. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to make these super cute shaker cards, Valentine cards for your kids. So I used the Cricut Maker to make these. They're super easy and just use whatever you have on hand. So I'm going to share at the end of this video, there will be a link down below to, with the files for this so you can just cut these right out. And then I'm also going to show you towards the end of the video how to make these on your own so that if you want to add more designs or whether you just want to do your own designs. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first one that I did here was a little cupcake, and I cut the background of the cupcake out and then have the cupcake wrapper. I did this piece separate to put on top and then cut out the little pieces for the shaker. On the background, I used a piece of double-sided cardstock, so this is what the back looks like. And then I used the Cricut Maker to cut this and write these at the same time. And then I just added a little bit of glossy accents and then sprinkled a little bit of glitter here for the topping. And then on this is where it was like an accident, and I just came in with some glitter because my double-sided tape came through on the acetate, so I just added a little bit of glitter. So there's that one. And then this one right here, I added some glitter on the inside, but I don't really like how it sticks to the acetate. So this is one of the first ones I did, and I didn't do the glitter on this. I really don't suggest putting glitter in there because of the static cling. So on this one, I used some of the enamel accents from Ranger to put some dots on top. And then I added a little bow, and once again, like I said, I wrote all of these with the Cricut Maker. And then I also distressed these with the Ranger Tim Holtz inks, just went all the way around. And this one is also a double-sided paper. And I'll share the paper pads here in just a little bit. This one, I used a glitter cardstock, so it's just plain on the back. And I just hand cut out the waves right here at the bottom. And then on the apple one here, I cut out the apple. On this, I used the this die cut right here, that's the little squiggly lines. My daughter, after I had already had it together, I took it apart. She had an idea of putting these in here to make it look like worms, and I thought that was really cute. Added a bow. I did the enamel accents on here, just added a few dots. So just to show you how much you can kind of spruce these up. And this one is also the glitter cardstock, so it's plain on the back. And then this one right here, I used some ribbon from Christmas, and you could also use this with cardstock or whatever, or washi tape. And I just added those up there at the top, and then added the same thing. So this is just a plain heart shape, and this is not double-sided cardstock. So, and then I used the foam tape to bring this up, and this is just one sheet of acetate, and I only actually used half a sheet of acetate for all of these right here. So let me go ahead and get started, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do one. So this next one here I have is a mason jar, and so this is how they all started. So I cut it out, and it cuts the mason jar out of the middle and writes it, and then I cut out a piece of acetate that would fit behind this, and then a piece of the double-sided cardstock to go behind. So the first thing that we're going to do is I always like to, there is like a clear plastic on top of this, and I just take that off. Okay, so once you get your clear plastic off, what I did was I went ahead and took my tape runner and went all the way around the sides here. And then I just flipped my paper upside down and added my acetate. Very carefully, trying to avoid the sticky coming through. Just like that. So there is that piece. Then the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and add my double-sided tape. And you want to get as close as you can without coming over the acetate. That way your shaker stuff don't fall too far down. So you want to try to stay as close as you can. Okay, so now once you have your double-sided tape, I go ahead and add some to the corners. What I did was I took my Cricut tool, I just took the one with the sharp tip here, the straight, and I just peeled all the backing off. Okay, so now that I have the tape, the other side of the double-sided tape off, what I'm going to do, so that way that's already prepared and ready to go. So what I did was I used the confetti dies for the Kettlebug, and then I just used my Kettlebug. and these confetti dies that I had gotten way back there. But I'll leave a link down below to these confetti dies in case you guys are interested. And I used this one right here for the apple. And then I've been using a majority of the hearts and the dots. I used this one time, but I didn't really like how it worked. It was really hard to use. The pieces didn't, and I ran it twice. It really didn't want to come out very good. So I really didn't like this one, but love the rest of them. So like this one right here, I left this so I could show you guys whenever they get stuck like this. I just use I put it right over the paper I'm going to be doing it on. And I just use my Cricut tool and just pop these out just like this. So I just go around to wherever I can see the back of any papers and just pop those out and then tap it every once in a while to get the rest of them out. So there is those ones. So I just kind of try to put them as much as I can to the center to wherever I know, because you may have it like more up here. I just kind of put them like that. And sorry about this, I've mentioned that before, I always write on myself before I use my Cricut pen to make sure it works. So these are my other pieces here that I'm going to put in here. And I think I'll put a couple pieces of the plain ones. Okay, so now that I have those, just going to kind of center them up. And then I'm going to take my card just like this and very carefully start at one corner and then come down to the next, keeping it all lined up. And then just push down and rub all the way around, acetate, and push down on all the tape. And then there it is, there's your shaker card. So then, this is what we started with, and this is what I did to spruce it up. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to take the twisted citron from Tim Holtz, and let me find, so I'm going to try to find so what I did was I took a piece of scrap paper, because I didn't pull out my, I like to use my Teflon sheets for this, but I didn't want to pull it out, so you can just use a piece of scrap paper. So let me go ahead and get this going. I'm going to rub this out just a little bit, make sure I don't pick up too much of the other colors, and then just kind of rubbing it on the sides here. Just going all the way around the sides of the card. And I decided to go with this color since I have the cactuses on this one. Just like that. So I may go ahead and come down just a little bit more. Just like that. And then what I'm going to do is move this back out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and take some jute twine for this one. And I'm going to just go ahead and try to create like a bow right here for the top of the jar. Just like that. And then what I'm going to do is take my glue dots and just put a glue dot on one side here. Just like that. Put it just like that. So there's our jar. And then the next thing that I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to go around and put a few dots of glue and some little lines like confetti. That one's a little bit bigger. And then just kind of adding some different little lines here and there. Just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my green glitter. And this is a set of glitters that I purchased from Hobby Lobby a long time ago, and they've lasted a long time. So this is the Paper Studio brand. Take it and just kind of sprinkle some on all of these glue spots. What I'm going to do is do half of one side and then come back and do the other half. That way I don't get it all over the acetate. I'm just kind of tapping it down like that. And I'll come back after it's dry and use a paintbrush to wipe away any of the extra glitter. And then come do this side. And tap it off. And like I said, once it dries, we'll come back and wipe the rest of that off. So that's what this one looks like, just like this. And that one's ready to go. Okay, so here's the file. This is what it's going to look like when you open it. So this is the one that I'm going to share. So it's going to look just like this. So as you can see, so this is going to be it's going to cut out the apple here, and it's going to write it. So it's going to come just like this. Now this piece right here is going to cut separate because it's going to go right on top of the acetate for the cupcake, and you don't have to cut that out. But so if you're going to have to scroll from left to right to be able to see all of these. But if you notice, if you go to make it, it's going to show you that it's going, so you will be able to cut on an 8.5 by 11, so you'll get 4 on one whole sheet. Now if you want to do these on different colors, then go through, I'll show you in just a second how you would do that. So like I did all white, so you would be able to do all this on one sheet, and then you would have 2 on another, and then you would have your cupcake wrapper. So and like I said, you would be able to cut this on an 8.5 by 11. These are 4 by 5 cards. So let me go ahead and show you how you would do this. So if you wanted to cut these on different colors to make sure, I would come in here, click on this one. I would come right over here to this dot, and I would change it to, say, pink. So that way it knows it needs to cut a different color. So I would do that too, so you could do these 2 pink, however you're going to do that, if that makes sense. So now let me go ahead and go to a blank page so I can show you how you're going to do this in case you want to add some more designs. So we're going to go ahead and click New. And so the very first thing that I did was I came over here to Shapes, and I clicked Square. And then I'm going to take my square, move it up here, and I'm going to change the color of that to white so we can see it better. And then I'm going to come down here to the Unlock button and click it. And then I'm going to come up here to where the sizing is. And I'm going to change this one to 4. And this one to 5. Just like that. Then I'll come back and lock it. So now what we're going to do is go figure out an image. So I come over here to Images. And let's try to look up a fox and see if I can't find an outline of like a fox. See what it would even look like. We could try this one just to see what it's going to look like. So I would click this, and I would hit Insert, because I want to show you a multi-layer of how you would do something like this. So, because you can't slice with multiple layers. So what you're going to do is bring this down to size. So say I wanted it just like this. What I did was I selected it all, and I hit Align, which is right here, and I center horizontally. That way it's centered. And then you're going to come over here, and I'm going to go ahead, and I want the background, and I want to hide the rest. So I'm going to hit the eyes on all of these, so that way it's just the outline. So then the next thing I would do is I would select everything, and I would come down here to the slice button, just like that. I would click this, hit delete, click it again, hit delete. Now, we don't want this little piece right here because it's not going to stay anyways because it's not attached. So what I would do is click this, and I'm going to hit contour, and I would take this piece away. So there it is. So there's your outline of the fox. So that way if you wanted to do that, and then let's just say I went to text to do the writing. I just said let's just say be mine. But you could do a cute little saying there. I came up here to where it says style, and I went to write. So now it's ready to write. Now you could go in and change your font to different writing, but I just left all mine like this. So let me say that I wanted it just like this. I would do the same thing. I would select it all. I would hit Align and center horizontally. That way it's centered. And then what I would do is I'm going to select it again, and I'm going to hit Attach. That way it's going to write right here on top of this. And then, so there it is. That's exactly how you would do something like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please hit the subscribe button and like it, and I'll see you on the next one.